Skyscrapers, best young core in the league. See, this is why, Angel Reese, you got to learn how to just chill out sometime. Now you look crazy. I told y'all, remember, I told y'all.
Angel Reese's Reebok deal is falling apart fast, and the basketball world can't stop watching the train wreck unfold.
Angel Reese has been absolutely fantastic in the month of July. We are not questioning that. But today, this was the hate watch of dreams. Angel Reese coming in 2 of 6 with 9 turnovers in garbage time. And you better believe there is no better player in the entire WNBA than Angel Reese in garbage time.
She was supposed to be the next big thing, a champion, a culture changer, the face of Reebok's comeback.
We have some Angel Reese news, man. She came out and said, I'm at the top of the scouting report when it comes to playing against teams.
But now, commentators are literally laughing at her on live TV, and her highlight reels are viral for all the wrong reasons.
And now, folks, listen to this. Listen to this. We have the commentators that are actually laughing at this.
To be able to attack and finish inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
They realized that they were laughing and then quickly stopped themselves like, oh, I can't laugh. I'm live right now.
If you believe this deal is doomed, go ahead and comment Reebok below. How did Reebok go from betting big on Angel Reese to quietly preparing for what might be the most awkward shoe launch in basketball history? Let's break it down. Reebok made headlines when they signed Angel Reese as the face of their basketball revival. Shaquille O'Neal himself backed the move. The promise was huge. A signature shoe in 2026, fresh energy, and a bold new face of the brand. But in the WNBA, that face is turning red. In one brutal sequence, Angel Reese missed 4 consecutive putbacks in 12 seconds. 2 were blocked. The clip exploded online, except not as a moment of resilience.
Let's get it! Only lost by 25 this time! Bang! That stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick. Bang! She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it? Bang! Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. Do it again. Bang! Another me-bound. One more time. Bang! Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball? Someone tell her when you travel, you need your real ID now!
It became a meme, circus music, slow-mo edits, and commentators trying not to laugh, but failing. One even chuckled live on air, then realized he was broadcasting and panicked.
Be able to attack and finish inside, and Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked. Give this one to...
We have commentators laughing at this.
Washington has done that incredibly well so far. Reese missed the first one, still with it blocked.
This isn't an isolated moment. This is the trend. Reese is shooting just 31.5% on layups, despite attempting the 3rd most in the entire league.
Let's take a look, man. So this is what I was talking about in my other video, right? This is late in the game, 4th quarter. And I mean chucking them. She was chucking them, man. Now, it's these type of moments that people use to discredit her great rebounding skills. She's a phenomenal rebounder. Her hustle is crazy. But when you're doing something like this, people aren't gonna take you serious.
That's a professional athlete, a 6'3" forward, missing shots that high school JV players knock down in their sleep. Her overall field goal percentage looks okay at 44%, until you remember nearly all of her shots come from under the basket.
Bang! Lack of awareness combined with a lack of ability to jump, not great! Bang!
Me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow, me bow.
Yeah! Again! Do it for me. Rebound! Bang! Okay, new strategy, team. Angel, keep doing your part. Everyone else, go rebound her misses! Bang! If she keeps missing layups at this rate, she's gonna be serving buttermilk pancakes at Denny's. Butter? Did somebody say butter? Butter pecan! Burn! At a certain point, you just got to applaud greatness. A me bound on her back? Are you kidding? Bang! Simon says, give me another pray-up. How about it? Bang! She really hit under the basket on a layup. Get this girl GPS. Bang! Everybody get up on your feet. It's time to meet and greet the most underpaid athlete. Bang!
Most pros hit layups at 70 to 80%. Angel, it's a coin toss. And fans know it. One commentator joked she reminded him of a 3-year-old throwing bricks on a toddler hoop. Painfully accurate and painful to watch. The internet isn't kind, but when you become a walking blooper reel, you can't blame the fans for pressing record.
All that matters to the lonely men who follow Angel Reese on social media is that she looks good. But like I told you guys the other day, an excellent performance from Angel Reese, it is rare. It's like seeing a hole-in-one on a par 5, or locating a flea on an elephant's ass without a microscope. It's possible it might happen once or twice, but it's not something that happens often. And in the case of Angel Reese, it damn sure doesn't happen in back-to-back games.
TikTok now has entire playlists titled Angel Reese Layup Fails with millions of views. One creator posted 36 compilations and counting.
Angel Reese, part 53, let's get it! We love pray-ups. Bang! I heard she wanted to dye her hair, and the stylist said, what color you want? And she said, butter pecan! Bang! She gets blocked by defenders who don't even bother jumping. Me bound. One more time. Bang! She almost had a triple-double. One more turnover, and she would have had it. Bang! 9 turnovers is crazy, so is a no-look poop pass. Oh, no! Bang! Hey, does anyone know how that party rock song goes? Every day I'm shuffling. Do. Bang!
And while that generates clicks, it's not the kind of content that sells performance basketball shoes. Reebok's execs wanted a culture-defining moment. What they got instead was viral infamy. Reebok planned the launch like it was their next Iverson moment. CEO Todd Krinsky even compared Angel Reese to AI and Shaq. The difference? Shaq and Iverson were actually great at basketball. Insiders now say Reebok is panicking. They're considering delaying the launch, rebranding the shoe as lifestyle instead of performance, or scrapping the whole thing. And can you blame them? They can't sell a shoe built for winners when the star can't hit a wide-open layup. It's not just Angel. The Chicago Sky are falling apart too. They're 7-21. They've lost 8 in a row. They're 0-5 when Reese doesn't play, but somehow worse when she does. It's a paradox. Her presence doesn't help, but her absence doesn't either. That's not a star player. That's a liability in sneakers. Even Coach Tyler Marsh is struggling to defend her.
Coach Tyler Marsh, the Chicago Sky coach, finally came out and admitted to the things that I was saying, man. It is crazy. Chicago Sky head coach admits Angel Reese mistake. During his press conference post-game, Sky head coach Tyler Marsh admitted he needed to do a better job facilitating his bigs like Reese and Cardoso. Come on, man. I've got to be better at getting the ball into our post players, Marsh said via Chicago Sky.
He talks about potential and positivity, but when your main contribution is rebounding your own misses and yelling, "You can't guard me," after a brick, there's only so much spin you can apply. Her visibility has skyrocketed, but not for the reasons brands want. When Caitlin Clark sat out a Fever vs. Sky matchup due to injury, ticket prices dropped from $100 to just $5. That's right, Angel Reese couldn't even keep the crowd interested, and yet she still gets the highlight treatment. Just not the highlights she hoped for. It's the kind of fame you don't build a shoe empire on. Reebok now faces a marketing disaster. They've invested millions into a player whose most famous move is missing layups. They backed charisma over consistency, clout over craft. And the result? A potential PR meltdown just waiting for 2026. The worst part, they can't pivot to another player without admitting failure, and they can't keep pushing forward without risking complete embarrassment. They might delay, they might rebrand, but more and more insiders believe they're quietly searching for a way out. Meanwhile, Reese's injury has been a blessing in disguise, giving Reebok's marketing team time to figure out how to spin bloopers into sneaker sales. But time is running out. If the performances don't change, this might become the most humiliating endorsement backfire in modern basketball history. So what do you think? Was Angel Reese always overrated, or did Reebok just make a massive gamble that failed before it ever started? If you're still watching, drop Reebok in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more WNBA drama, deep dives, and breakdowns just like this one. We'll see you in the next video.
I genuinely think the Indiana Fever have found a absolute, I'm not going to say gem, because like I think there are a million players. There are a million players in the league or around in the world that can do exactly what Chloe Bibby did. But I don't care. I don't care if there are 75 players that can do what Chloe Bibby does. Do you want to know who can't do what Chloe Bibby does right now? Demira Stantis. Do you want to know who can't do what Chloe Bibby does? Natasha Howard. Do you want to know who can't do what Chloe Bibby does? Bree Turner. So I don't care.
Caitlin Clark just got blindsided, not by a rival, by her own teammate. Chloe Bibby just said something that left fans and Clark herself completely stunned. It sounded innocent, but the message cut deep.
I mean this when I say this. This is not an insult. If you are a big, I'm not joking when I say this. If you are on the weak side, and Kelsey Mitchell is on your side, you set a pin down for Kelsey Mitchell to curl. If you are on the weak side and Kelsey Mitchell is not on your side and it's Lexi Hull / Sophie Cunningham, you lift. If you are on the strong side, you screen, and you're Chloe Bibby, so you pop. That's it. That is literally it from her position.
And now the Indiana Fever's chemistry is hanging by a thread. Let's rewind for a second. Clark is out. Groin injury, the team's struggling, and suddenly, boom, the Fever make a surprise move.
News, man, the Indiana Fever just added somebody to the roster, and it's Chloe Bibby, man. All right, so let's get into it, man. The Indiana Fever just announced that they have signed Chloe Bibby to a 7-day contract. Welcome to Indy, Chloe. Now, the main thing I remember about Chloe was the fact that she could shoot, right? That's the main thing I remember about her. Watching her games with the Valkyries, y'all don't remember that. She was on the Valkyries. I think she played for the preseason, and she got signed again, didn't play like 5 games. She finished with like 42% shooting from the 3. So she could hit, man. She could really hit.
They signed Chloe Bibby. Now, if that name sounds familiar, it should. Just weeks ago, Bibby was lighting up the Fever while playing for the Golden State Valkyries. She came off the bench, dropped 12 points in 24 minutes, and drilled clutch threes that broke the Fever's defense apart.
0-4 from downtown. Bibby, her second 3.
And that's when the front office took notice. But this wasn't just a panic signing. It was a calculated move, a fix for a massive, embarrassing problem.
With the 6'2" redhead. Man. By the way, rookie. Yeah, it's a rookie. Late bloomer. Played overseas. All right. From Australia. Chloe Bibby, no relation to Mike Bibby from back in the day. 6.4 points a game. And I think she may contribute something. At least I hope she does. She looks like she could contribute to everything. Everything.
You see, the Fever had a flaw, a big one. Teams knew all they had to do was collapse on Aaliyah Boston in the paint. There was no real threat from the outside. No spacing. No stretch 4. Clark could create. Boston could dominate. But without shooters, everything jammed up. Enter Chloe Bibby. She shot over 42% from deep during her stint with the Valkyries.
So the Indiana Fever front office, they needed to act. They needed to act fast. They needed to go out there in the pool of free agents and sign somebody that can hopefully come in right away and contribute. While Brianna Turner is over there collecting dust, we need somebody off the bench that can come in with some size and rain threes until Damaris Dantis' shot begins to fall and we go out and we get one. Chloe Bibby. Last time we saw Chloe Bibby, she dropped 12 points against the Indiana Fever. Wait for it, in her WNBA WNBA debut. She shoots over 40% from the field. She shoots over 40% from three.
That's not just good, that's elite. So when Clark went down, Bibby got the call. And she didn't hesitate. She was in China, didn't go home, didn't even rest. She packed a bag and flew across the world for a 7-day contract. No guarantees, no promises, just a shot.
I was in China. Yeah. Well, yeah, I was already in, so I went from San Francisco to China, and so then I didn't really get to go back to Australia. So just from China, I was like, well, I already have some stuff packed, so then just come back over here, back to America. So yeah, it was good. It all happened pretty fast, but as I said, super grateful for the opportunity.
That hunger, that fight, exactly what the Fever needed. But then came the moment. Reporters asked Bibby how she felt joining the team. She said she loved the Fever style. Tough, fast-paced, physical, and then she said this: "That suits me a lot."
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, really physical team, tough, fast-paced, and I like that fast, style. So I think that suits me a lot. Fast-paced, shoot through ball, and I think that's exactly what I do. So hopefully, I can find my strides here and get into some rhythm.
Sounds harmless, right? Except it wasn't. Because the Fever, with Caitlin Clark on the floor, have been called anything but fast-paced. Fans and analysts have been saying for weeks that the team looks slow, rigid, and sometimes lost. Bibby's comment felt like a dagger, a not-so-subtle dig at the current system, a system built around Clark.
You want to know what I like for her saying? She likes fast-paced physical game and she shoots the three ball. Do the Indiana Fever play that fast without Caitlin Clark? At times. There are times in the game, like when they completely took over the game against the Aces, they went at them. Like, the Fever can play fast without Caitlin Clark. It's a lot easier to play fast when you've got an orchestrator who plays with her head up and just looks to throw long every possession. Like, it's easy to play fast when that happens. It's not easy to play fast when, for example, you don't have an orchestrator like a Caitlin Clark.
And remember, Bibby isn't some rookie in awe of Caitlin Clark. They've gone head-to-head before. Back in college, Bibby played for Maryland. Clark played for Iowa. Big Ten rivals, hard-fought battles, packed arenas, nothing but fire. Bibby has competed with Clark. She's not intimidated by her. And now, she's her teammate. With Clark sidelined and Bibby now in the spotlight, the timing couldn't be more intense. Every second Bibby is on the court is being scrutinized. Is she a short-term patch? Or is she here to stay? There's already tension on the bench. Brianna Turner, a veteran forward, has barely played. Fans are wondering why she's even still on the roster. Meanwhile, Bibby is getting minutes, getting praise, getting opportunity. And Coach Stephanie White, she's made it clear Bibby was brought in for one reason: to stretch the floor, to do what nobody else has done all season. And now some are asking the hard question: why wasn't this done for Caitlin? Why wait until she's hurt to fix the offense? Why bring in a stretch four now? It's a fair question, and one that's got fans debating in every corner of the internet. But here's where it gets even messier. Bibby might have been signed for her shooting, but her role is bigger than that. She's become a wild card. She has MVP-level stats overseas. She's a Euro Cup star, and she's been through the pressure of global competition with the Australian national team. She's no stranger to big moments. And the Fever are trusting her over some of their veterans. If she continues to shine while Clark is out, things get complicated. Does she stay when Clark returns? Does the system shift again? And what does Clark think about a former rival sliding into her team and subtly questioning the style she helped create? Coach White has a plan. She's simplified the playbook just for Bibby, told her exactly what to do. Play next to Aaliyah Boston, shoot threes, stretch the defense. No overthinking, but what happens when Clark returns? Do they integrate Bibby into a new big three? Or is Bibby just a placeholder? There's no denying her fit, no denying her impact. But her comment, whether intentional or not, has changed the temperature in the locker room. It's no longer just about basketball. It's about hierarchy, respect, and chemistry. Bibby might be exactly what the Fever need, but she also might be the spark that lights a fire. Let's be real. The Fever needed shooting. They needed hunger. They needed edge. Chloe Bibby brings all of it. But at what cost? She's already stirred up debate. Fans are picking sides, and the media is circling. If Bibby thrives while Clark is out, the noise will get louder. And when Clark returns, let's just say she's not going to forget what was said or how things shifted in her absence. This isn't over. If you're still watching, drop CC 100% in the comments. Let's see who's been paying attention. And don't forget to like and subscribe. We've got more drama, more breakdowns, and more Caitlin Clark chaos coming soon. You don't want to miss it.
Do you still think you deserve a pay raise, you little trash can? Do you have any damn shame? Thank you, Sid.
Honestly, I had to go out there in the fourth to stat pad so I could keep my double-double streak alive. I don't care about winning games. I only care about stat padding to boost my ego and act cocky on Twitter right after the game ends. We're now 7-16, but like I said, I don't care if we win or lose. I just want to keep stat padding with me bounds till the day I retire. I just keep taking these fat L's, but as long as I get my double-double, I'm good. I can talk my trash on Twitter now. And yes, I do think I deserve a pay raise after that performance. I mean, tell me a forward who almost had a triple-double with turnovers. Nobody doing it like me out here right now. I have the most turnovers in the league as a forward. I'm one of the rare forwards in the modern age. I love turning that ball over with my stupid passes.
Angel Reese tried to hijack Caitlin Clark's spotlight with a flashy shoe stunt at WNBA All-Star Weekend, but it blew up in her face.
Well, it looked like Angel Reese has just found herself in the middle of some serious drama yet again. Guys, well, we know Angel Reese has definitely been in the headlines, man, after erupting in a press conference, pretty much swearing at reporters. And I'm here to tell you today is another day of the Angel Reese drama. This happened on national television. Now, guys, I'm not one to blow up negativity, but Angel Reese is supposed to be leading young women and being a great example to girls and kids all over the world.
What was meant to be a career-defining moment turned into a public unraveling. Live and in full color, as fans, media, and even her own brand made one thing painfully clear: you can't fake star power, and you definitely can't steal it.
Listen, this is a fake one-sided rivalry. We got Angel Reese taking more shots at Caitlin Clark unnecessarily. You in Indiana having a great time partying. We see all the clips. Why can't you just do your thing? Why can't you just do your thing? Now, if Caitlin Clark and her fans was coming out here going crazy on Angel Reese, everybody's gonna scream race. Everybody would scream racism. We already know that. Reebok, Angel Reese are taking shots at Caitlin Clark, using her as promo.
All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis was supposed to be Angel Reese's big moment. She had it all lined up: her Reebok signature shoe launch, 2 flashy colorways named Diamond Dust and My Bound.
So Angel Reese shoes are here. They are here, and I like them. I like them. You can't say that these don't look like something they would have released in the 2000s. I grew up in the 2000s, so I am very much a nostalgia merchant for the 2000s. But I do have to say that it is a cool shoe. But the marketing campaign, I have to say, I'll say it's smart.
A bold "I'm in your city" campaign blasted across billboards, and a media rollout that screamed, "This is my time."
But right before I was about to go to Gamebridge for the WNBA All-Star game itself, I happened to see some social media reaction. And I don't like to always react to social media reaction, but I think this is going to cause a bit of a stir. And it was a new Angel Reese ad. And Angel Reese, from a marketing standpoint, I mean, basically chef's kiss, right?
The strategy? Take over Clark's city while Clark was distracted. But here's the twist. Caitlin Clark wasn't just distracted, she was injured. And just like that, the whole plan fell apart.
Late Tuesday night, we saw Caitlin Clark hold her groin. We saw Caitlin Clark dig her head in the stanchion. We saw Stephanie White after the game say Caitlin felt something. Yesterday, after the New York Liberty, she revealed that imaging showed maybe we should sit her down. Caitlin Clark, unfortunately, is going to miss WNBA All-Star Game and the three-point contest because of the groin injury.
Clark's groin injury kept her out of the game, leaving the WNBA All-Star stage without its biggest star. And the absence of Caitlin Clark didn't just take the shine off the weekend, it collapsed it entirely. Ticket prices dropped by almost 50%. Ratings nosedived by 36%. The 2025 WNBA All-Star Game drew only 2.19 million viewers.
Caitlin Clark gets hurt, and guess what? Your demand vanishes because people ain't going to pay up to see these athletes that are ungrateful that their sport's growing. People aren't paying up for that. And we are here, right here. The tickets for this game, for this All-Star game, they've dropped by 50%. The ticket prices. The demand fell off a cliff. And it's not just the on-court product that suffers without number 22, Caitlin Clark. The entire weekend's economic opportunities have felt the fallout. This was conveyed with a July 18th post from NBA Central that wrote, quote, "The get-in price for the WNBA All-Star Game in Indianapolis has dropped 48%.
Down from $3.44 million the year before when Clark was on the floor. And keep in mind, this was in her own backyard. Without Clark, the hype died. And Reese? She was left holding a campaign that no longer had context.
Let's be clear here. Let's just be all the way clear here. Angel Reese is a solid basketball player. Angel Reese 100% has benefited from attaching herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn. Her podcast, the first 3 episodes, all the clips promoting was bringing up Caitlin Clark. It was bringing up Caitlin Clark in all of the promo. People wanted to know what she was going to say. She used Caitlin Clark as promo. Now with Reebok, she's using. This is nonstop. She has attached herself to Caitlin Clark at every single turn, and she has benefited.
Her bold "I'm in your city" message, instead of reading like a power move, came off like someone yelling into an empty room. She wasn't taking over anything. There was no crown to steal. The queen wasn't even in the building. But it gets worse. The entire Reebok campaign, from timing to rollout, was clearly built around Clark's presence.
It was this ad that Angel put out, and I don't know if this is part of a larger campaign where it's going to be similar themes in similar places, but because of where the WNBA All-Star Game is, and because of who plays on the Indiana Fever in the home city of the WNBA All-Star Game, it's going to raise some eyebrows, let's say.
One analyst even said the brand waited for a matchup between Reese and Clark to drop the shoe, first aiming for Chicago, then settling on All-Star Weekend. Why? Because they knew they needed Clark's orbit to generate attention. And without her, the shoe launch fell flat. There were more cameras than fans. Social media mocked the effort. One tweet read, "She can't even sell her shoe without piggybacking off Caitlin Clark." Another joked, $1,000 resale for a shoe nobody asked for?
But there is the part of me that's like, is this really necessary? And shouldn't Angel Reese be able to market herself at this point without invoking or even, insinuating some sort of attachment to Caitlin Clark? Because if I'm being honest about it, people say that moment, and that moment was huge. It will live forever. That moment will live forever. But Caitlin Clark was on this trajectory already. And if anyone has benefited more from the attachment, at least from an attention standpoint, it's been Angel Reese. Now, she's turned it into a brilliant thing, like I just mentioned before.
Even Reebok's own strategy betrayed the truth. In Netflix's Power Moves docuseries, Shaquille O'Neal, the face of Reebok, admitted that Reese needed to be head-to-toe Reebok only when playing Caitlin Clark. Translation, her brand value skyrockets only when Clark is in the frame. That's not a rivalry, that's dependence. The comparison to Clark couldn't be more brutal. Caitlin Clark's Nike Kobe 5 Protro sold out in under 60 seconds, with resale prices flying past $600. Not because of hype, because of loyalty. because she's built years of credibility, performance, humility, and connection.
All right, so here we go with the news, man. Front Office Sports ended up dropping this article right here stating Caitlin Clark's signature shoe could be a $150 million business. Sneaker expert, right? So let's continue down. The Fever Stars own player edition of the Nike Kobe 5 release in Fever colors sold out within minutes. That's crazy work.
When Nike handed her a $28 million contract, it wasn't just a bet, it was a guarantee. Experts now project Clark's 2026 signature shoe will generate between $100 to $150 million in revenue. And what's Reese's legacy right now? A shoe launch that nobody noticed, a marketing campaign that fans laughed at, and a reputation that, for better or worse, is now seen as trying too hard to ride someone else's wave. The campaign screamed dominance, but the crowd didn't buy it. And instead of stepping into her own lane, Reese kept doubling down, tagging Clark without tagging her. From slogans like, "Walk in your trap, take over your trap," to billboards in Clark's home market, to Instagram reels dripping with artificial swagger, it all felt more like a parody than a breakthrough. Even her final post after the weekend came off as defensive. She thanked the players, in all caps, for making the weekend fun, a not-so-subtle jab at the fans who simply didn't show up. Ironically, the Indianapolis crowd had been mostly respectful, but once the smoke cleared, Reese wasn't celebrating a win. She was spinning a loss. The truth is, the 2025 WNBA All-Star Weekend will be remembered for one thing, and it won't be Reese's shoes. It'll be remembered as the moment the league discovered just how much it relies on Caitlin Clark. Reese had a golden opportunity, and she blew it. Because no matter how slick the marketing is, no matter how loud the slogans are, and no matter how many billboards you pay for, you can't force people to care. So what exactly went wrong? Simple. Angel Reese thought she could manufacture a moment by mimicking someone else's blueprint. She assumed attention was transferable, that if Clark got hype for selling shoes, she could do the same by being nearby, that if Clark could own a city with charisma, she could conquer it with volume. But fans aren't dumb. They don't follow flash, they follow heart. Caitlin Clark didn't become a star because of branding. She became a brand because of her star power. The loyalty she commands was built on real emotion, real performance, and real authenticity, not photo ops or forced narratives. Angel Reese didn't just fail to take over All-Star Weekend, she exposed a hard truth. You can't shortcut greatness. And when you try, well, this is what it looks like. If you're still watching, drop CC 100% in the comments and let the world know who really runs the W.